By the early 2000s, Warren Jeffs had full control of the FLDS, using failed doomsday prophecies to justify deeper obedience and isolating the community from the outside world. He purged longtime leaders, expelled teenage boys, and arranged underage marriages while building new lands of refuge, including a secret Texas compound. As former members began speaking out and investigators targeted church finances, Warren went into hiding, moving between safe houses with a loyal inner circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you thought you'd be more likely to hear about the 10 Commandments than the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list in an episode about a religious cult prophet, stick around.
You sure about that?
This is Necronomipod.
We have officially reached the quarter mark of this series.
Yeah.
We will wrap this up probably, early March?
Oh my God.
Mid-March, maybe? I'm thinking.
Time for St. Patty's Day?
Yeah, just about in time. What has the research been like about what you expected, Ian?
Yeah, once I kind of accepted that this was going to be a lot bigger. Yeah.
Early on, you had said probably 5 parts when you decided to do the full story.
Yeah.
And you found that you were consistent with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's side quests you can go down. I know people had recommended the book. What was it, Dave?
Under the Banner of Heaven.
And that was made into a Hulu show. There's other ways, various kind of side quest stories to this too.
Yeah. Well, people can choose their own adventure on that one.
Yeah.
Those Mormons, they've done a lot of crazy shit. They're a bunch of rascals over there.
That's something. What else is going on? You guys healthy? You guys well?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Are you in the Christmas spirit yet?
No.
I'm ready for it.
I enjoy Christmas.
Yeah, me too.
I like it.
I put out my Christmas lights the other night.
You did a good job.
They look good. Yeah.
Yeah. You were in that Carhartt.
Yep.
Good work. With any of your skunk friends out watching you?
No, thankfully.
Did you ever get a skunk update? Like that one that was had you cornered at the sidewalk the one time? Like where you couldn't get back to your front door?
Yeah, no, nothing. I smelled one maybe a month ago or something, but nothing else. My neighbors really didn't do anything with the stick pile. They kind of did, but then they didn't. They did it for a day and a half and then stopped.
They gave up.
Yes. I'm sure the skunk's going to live there over winter.
Oh, yeah.
Skunks kind of go into hibernation in winter a little bit, right? You don't often see one or smell one in the winter, do you? Or am I just making that up?
No, not really.
No.
Or are you just not outside? I don't know.
But even driving, you smell
That's
them.
true.
Yeah.
I haven't smelled a skunk in a long time, so yeah, maybe you're right, pal.
Nature Mike. That's what they used to call me when I lead nature walk tours. But it was only for women.
No men allowed, huh?
No men allowed on the nature walks. Oh, okay. Good talk. See you guys out there.
Yeah.
What do we got today, Ian?
Where we left off on part 3, Warren Jeffs had basically turned his dad Rulon into a doomsday puppet. After Rulon's stroke in 1998, Warren controlled access to his father, leaned on the generation he'd groomed at the Alta Academy, and spent the late 90s preaching that the end of the world was right around the corner. Remember that Alta Academy was kind of like a Mormon boot camp kind of thing, led by Warren, and he just kind of groomed these kids to view him as the prophet.
They all loved him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So more brainwashing, less actual schooling. It sounded like.
Yeah, no one's allowed to learn in this group.
Keep them dumb. Gotta keep them dumb.
Yeah, look, we're talking 19-year-old, young women that don't understand pregnancy and stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
So in 1999, he was ordering FLDS families in Canada and around Salt Lake to move down to Short Creek so they could, quote, outlive the end of the world, kicking out longtime locals out of UEP houses and cramming the most obedient newcomers into old barracks and tiny apartments. Remember, we said like the families were running out credit card bills, like everybody said, fuck it. For the year 2000.
Yeah. We'll be with Jesus when this bill comes. No worries. Or on Kolob or wherever the fuck these lunatics go.
Obviously, the world didn't end, so they had to pay those bills. And Warren just keeps moving the goalpost, and he set his new date on the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. While that whole idea was forming, the first big flex came in 2000 when Warren ordered all FLDS kids out of public school. It's an interesting dynamic because they did have kids out in public schools for a while, but overnight, classrooms that had been full were suddenly empty. Local officials, many of them FLDS themselves, said President Jeffs just wants to educate the kids the way he wants to, and parents pulled their kids and kept them in homeschool programs or FLDS-run classes.
Total control.
With so many students gone, the school system pretty much fell apart in Colorado City and Hilldale. Remember, those were the two. They took Short Creek in 53 and split it up into Colorado City and Hilldale after they were raided.
Yeah.
But they still all lived there as Short Creek. It's really weird.
Hilldale was in Utah and Colorado City was in Arizona. They do that cross state line jump, right?
Right, and it's literally like walking across the street. Yeah. And then remember, that's the Arizona guy was like, yeah, fuck that. And he just took all the kids and it kind of backfired. So those public schools had been serving around 1,000 kids. And after Warren's order, only a few hundred were left. And a lot of teachers didn't come back the next year. The district started closing schools, cutting staff, and trying to explain to state officials why they were still taking education money when most of the FLDS kids were now in church schools or home programs. At the same time, Warren relayed instructions that everyone needed to strip their homes of outside what he called corrupting influences. So TVs were gone, no internet, no music, no books. If it has to come from the FLDS leadership. They're a step above Amish, right? They're they are allowed electricity, but that's about it.
It's prime X-Files back then. You couldn't watch X-Files? Come on. Lame. Fuck you, Warren.
Rulon Jeffs died on September 8th, 2002 at the age of 92. One thing about these Mormon guys is they really live for a long fucking time. There's obviously something to be said for not drinking and
all that smoking. Fucking, no drinking, and no tobacco. Yeah, that is a successful life. I mean, for longevity. Doesn't sound fun to me.
No, I'd rather smoke weed. And his funeral drew thousands of FLDS members to a huge meeting hall in Hilldale. In a last kind of weird show of authority, they set Rulon's portrait up on a chair up in the front, like he was still there presiding, because that's how he would like do his sermons, is he would always sit in this chair. So they put him there like he was still there sitting.
Not weird at all.
By the end of the day, the picture was gone and Warren was sitting in the seat.
I see what you did there, Warren. All right. You got game, fella. That's really slick.
Warren simply declared himself the new president and prophet of the FLDS church. Nobody in that room stood up and said no. Within weeks, he made the transfer of power literal by marrying several of Rulon's widows, turning his own stepmothers into plural wives. FLDS prophets sometimes married their predecessors' wives before as a symbol of continuity, but Warren grabbed most of Rulon's remaining women, including some way older than him. Like, this is more of a power thing to him. A few of these wives refused and ran, but most of them submitted.
Oof. Did he have sex with these grannies too?
I'm not aware.
He liked them young, not old.
Let's be honest.
Seems like.
Yeah.
Probably yes, just for a power move.
Yeah.
I would say so. Maybe once, just once.
Don't have to use rubbers. No Jimmy hat. No Jimmy hat needed.
That's true.
Leave your Jimmy hat stashed at home. Although these people don't even know what a rubber is. No Jimmy hats going on there.
That's way out of their minds. He doesn't even know what you're talking about. He's like, why do I need a hat to have sex? Dumbass. I have magic underwear. I don't need hats.
Super sperm.
Isn't that so crazy that there's, I mean, I'm sure this still goes on to some degree, but like people living in this country that don't know basic things like that.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
You know,
Nor is it good for the common well-being.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Because they definitely didn't know what condoms were. They didn't even know they existed, that they were even a thing that was made.
Mike barely knows they're a thing he's made. He's very pro bareback. He's very anti Jimmy hat.
I'm aware they're made. I have no use for that aisle at the local Revco.
During the run-up to the 2002 Winter Olympics, Warren told people to stay far away from Salt Lake because it was going to be hit with disasters. Some families were told that the city would be destroyed around the Olympics, that God's wrath was tied to the games and the wickedness they represented. So people stayed in Short Creek. They all just hunkered in kind of thing. But nothing ever happened. There was no bomb, no earthquake that he talked about, fire raining down, all this stuff. But they had already been groomed to accept this as a thing where there's these big prophecies, a lot of upheaval, and then life just keeps going. Warren never stepped up and like said I was wrong. He just did what he had done previously and framed it to people that the Lord had mercifully given them more time, that destructions were still coming, and that if anything, the non-event meant that they needed to be even more exact in their obedience. Some people later said those broken prophecies planted quiet doubts they carried for years, but in the short term, it mostly just reinforced the cycle. Warren would set a date, nothing would happen, and then he'd double down on sermons about imminent doom, sacrifice, and absolute loyalty.
This sounds like a cult.
Very much resembles what we've been led to believe would constitute a cult. Yes.
Now, who was running their fuck schedule? What I would like to know.
It might have even been more complicated with all his wives, right?
It certainly seems like it.
Jimmy wasn't banging all the old broads, too. Was he? He liked the young girls, too, right? Jimmy Jones?
Rule on? Or
Jimmy Jones.
Oh.
Jimmy Jones.
Not really, no.
No?
No, he didn't do anything with kids.
But like younger girls. Like he wasn't looking for old ladies. And
Oh, yeah, no. No, he didn't. He wasn't doing that. He was like in the 20s.
yeah.
Now, this one probably required an Excel spreadsheet.
Probably so.
Hardcore into that.
You got to track all the menopause and a lot of things going on with the older ladies if he's going to be going that direction.
The fuck schedule guy's running around with like a headset on with like a clipboard, just running around like crazy all day, keeping track of things. And like, no, Natalie, I told you your time is 3:15, not 2:15, 3:15. Smack her and walk away.
Mountain time. Do you know what a clock is? She's like, what's a clock? I have a sundial, I think.
I don't have time for this. Somebody get me a Diet 7-Up.
In 2003, some Short Creek locals decided to honor the community's survival of the 1953 government raid. They built a little museum and a small stone monument in Colorado City. Nothing wild, just like a hometown memorial to the people who had stayed through that rough time. They didn't ask Warren first. When he found out, he was pissed. He said that they had glorified themselves, not God, and worse, they acted without his approval. That's the main thing here, right? He doesn't give a fuck about God.
No. Doesn't even believe, probably.
He announced that God had given him a revelation. Quote, "My people have sinned a very grievous sin. They have raised up monuments to man and have not glorified me." He He ordered the monument smashed immediately. Then Warren went further. He canceled all Sunday services indefinitely and called a closed-door priesthood meeting. In that meeting, he drew a hard line. He said, quote, "There's only one side, and that side is the Lord's side." Warren demanded that they decide right then and there whether they were fully with him. Any hint of hesitation was treated as rebellion against God, and that ultimatum became the start of a purge. Over the next year or so, Warren started excommunicating people at a rate that the community had never seen. We talked about that last week, like how they kick people out. Like they did start doing that, but he really ramps it up. Lifelong members, so these were like really old guys who had served under Rulon for decades, were summoned and just told they were out. There was no trial or, a detailed list of what they supposedly had done wrong. The prophet just declared them unworthy, and that was it.
Yeah, the prophet says you're unworthy. My hands are tied. What do you want me to do? You think Rulon probably would have not been so happy with his golden boy, Warren?
I don't think he would have, no.
Rulon did not roll like that.
If Rulon's gross, Rulon had some very young, quote-unquote, wives, but...
quote-unquote wives.
But, yeah, I don't think he would have loved some of this stuff.
Well, if he was godlike, he should have came back from Kolob and put the smackdown on Warren then. That's all I'm going to say.
Can't argue with that.
He's supposed to rule on.
Get it because of his name?
That's right. That's it.
And this was kind of a thing where anybody was on the table, because a guy named Dan Barlow, who had been the mayor of Colorado City for years, I mean, that's like a top level guy. He was just kicked out, like out of his house, like you're gone.
Was there a reason, or just it felt like it was a threat to the power, Warren?
That's what I would assume with that.
Yeah. Anybody in a high position you see as threatening, just get rid of and
consolidate. Yeah.
Well,
how it's told in the book Prophets Pray that I had been using is that it was like any hesitation in saying like you are the prophet, then you're just gone. In an action movie, it'd probably be like super dramatic and like, any hesitation, you're just fucking kicked out. But Warren's a nerd. And
Maury, what do you say? You are the prophet. then you can stay.
Maury would be safe. He'd be very safe.
You'd be fine. I'm not kicking Maury out.
So, like we said, some of these guys were like really old, with multiple wives, houses full of kids, and no experience of life outside the FLDS world. And suddenly they were told to pack up and leave alone. Warren stripped them of priesthood authority, which in FLDS theology meant that they lost not just the church membership, but their claim to their families in eternity. Overnight, they went being considered fathers of Zion to being told that they were spiritual deadweight.
God damn. That's rough, man. That's a bold move this guy's taking, huh? Was he protected with bodyguards and that sort of thing?
Yeah, he had 33 brothers. So yeah.
Hard to get to. It would just seem like this would be a situation where one of these guys would be like, nah, I think I'm done with Warren, and I'm gonna slice his throat or slit his throat open. But
I've been thinking that since the fucking Keith Nexium episodes. Like, just beat the fuck out of this guy once.
Right.
Yeah, in the Netflix docuseries, the Keep Sweet one, the guy is drives through this area, and this is like more recent.
Yeah,
and he was being followed by people. So if that's happening now, still nowadays, back then,
sure,
there's no way you're getting close to Warren. Yeah, the guy was like, they'll follow us now until we're out on the main highway, like far away. And sure as shit, this fucking truck followed them the whole way out. Because Warren, I mean, like, I don't like talking shit on the way people look, but like he is like a twig, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a little cunt.
Right.
You break him in half.
I don't have to look this guy up now. Or was he in one of the photos we've already used?
He was in one of the pictures.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just tall, but he's a little.
Yeah. He's just not intimidating. You know what I mean? Like if Warren told me I'm leaving my house, I'm like, dude, I'm not leaving.
You sure about that, Warren? I don't think I'm leaving my house.
I looked him up last week. That's right. I remember this fucking face.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. His arms are so scrawny.
Like that's not the prophet. Come on.
Yeah. You're the prophet.
He looks like a fucking walking dildo.
Oh, Rulon. You couldn't have come up with someone better. What do you have, 33 sons or some crazy shit?
Yeah, like I think it was a little over 60 kids altogether with 33 sons.
Ugh, goodness.
You don't even remember everybody's name at that point.
No.
60 kids?
But you also probably don't care to.
Like I couldn't name 60 people right now if you asked me to.
Nick Cannon can't even remember his 11 kids or whatever. You think this guy's remembering 60 of them?
I always forget about Nick Cannon.
So the community was told to just completely shun these guys, right? Don't talk to them. Don't help them. Don't even acknowledge them. If they die kind of thing. Like, fuck them.
Yeah.
If they die, they die.
Inside the homes, these women were devastated. But out in public, they did what they had been trained to do since birth. And that's that stupid keep sweet. Pretend that everything was fine. If a wife openly mourned or protested when her husband was thrown out, she risked being declared rebellious and losing her kids herself. Mothers coached their young children to start calling the newly assigned man dad within weeks, as if their actual father had never existed. I don't think I said that earlier. I forgot to put that in the outline, but there were men brought in like replacements. Like, you're gone, the husband's gone, here's the new dad.
It's so crazy, all this stuff. It's like, what do the Scientology people call it? A something person. What was the term that they use?
Suppressive person?
It's the same thing. No contact. You got to disown them and like they never existed.
That's called 101. You got to cut everybody off.
Yeah.
Completely different level of cucking too, right? Now you're not even a sexual partner, but the entire family you're replaced in the family now.
Right.
If we're not talking like, I'm your new dad now, like where this is peaceful. No, you're going to call me dad. And if you slip up, I'm beating your ass because this is like old rule kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. This stuff is so awful. All these people should just be kicked off the planet.
Cucks Across America does not get into family cucking. We don't abide by that. We don't support that. We don't condone that kind of behavior. Once it leaves the bedroom, it's no longer a sexual kink. It's a whole new kind of fuckery. We ain't trying to mess up families. We're just trying to, get people off.
I'm glad to hear you say that, pal.
It's our official statement on that matter. I just wanted to clear that up right now.
We're not trying to fuck up.
Don't have your kid come fucking call me daddy. Wake up the next morning and some kid poking me. Daddy? Get the fuck out of here, kid.
I'm not your dad.
No, I am not your dad. Now hand me my pants. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I know you go to conventions with other such cucking organizations and whatnot. I was going to ask, is there any such thing as like a multi-generational cucking service that where if you're like, say you have an 8-year-old son and you want to teach your 8-year-old son how to start being a bull, like you take him with you and like it's multi-generational. And so like, as you're banging the woman, like she has an 8-year-old daughter. Let me finish. With a boyfriend, a grade school boyfriend, but you bring your son as the bull and
To bull the other boy.
yeah. Oh. And he holds hands with her and has a tea party, and the other boy has to go sit in the corner. I don't know what you guys thought I was going to say here.
I was scared.
These are done in completely separate spaces of the house.
All right.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I have not seen
That says something bad about us.
I have not seen any children at the cuck bull conventions. What happens in their own time is in their own time.
Just thought if you're a busy bull like this running your service, you want to have some time to spend with your son. It might be
Look,
an opportunity for multi-generational cucking.
I run a clean operation over here. Certainly not involving any
ask him.
8-year-olds in what's happening. Any way, shape, or form. I'd just like to reiterate that. Please direct all further comments and questions to my attorney. BigDickJohnson@lawyers.com.
Dave, you brought this up last week. Plural marriage in a closed community like this creates a math problem. If older men can marry lots of wives, even 12-year-olds, that leaves young males with nobody to marry. Previous FLDS leaders had kind of nudged some of these boys out who didn't quite fit, got them to leave. But Warren scaled that to mass exile. Starting around 2000, teenage boys and young men were kicked out for tiny things, having an attitude, being impure, whatever that meant to whoever was judging them that week. Last week we talked about that Sons of Perdition documentary that came out in 2010. Over roughly 4 years, around 400 boys and young men were pushed out of Short Creek. They came to be called the Lost Boys. One teenager ended up sleeping in an unheated shed behind a business in a nearby town, stealing leftover food from a gas station bakery rack and grabbing energy bars when the clerk wasn't working. And this kid tried to kill himself more than once because he truly believed that he was worth nothing after being condemned by the prophet.
I'm starting to think that these religious leaders never read a word that Jesus said in this Bible because none of them act like it.
Yeah, and did Jesus have a saying about taking people in?
Yeah.
What was it?
A lot of them.
Oh, a lot of them. Right? I didn't know if he had like a famous
I don't know.
like his big line
is get the fuck off my lawn. I think is what it is.
I'm well past my Bible quoting days.
I think it's in Timothy 2. Get the fuck off my lawn.
And I will say that if this religious organization didn't want these 400 young boys, I know of another religious organization that would probably want to take in these 400 young boys.
And
Modern problems require modern solutions, and I think that would have been a good fit.
Simple little trade of sorts.
Yes. I was going to say trade them, get some more girls from the Catholic Church because they're not interested in that, right?
Well.
Send the young girls over here. You take the young boys. It's even Steven.
I believe the professional term for that is a swappy swap.
Swappy swap will do. Missed opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
so this kid's story is kind of what almost all of theirs were like. These kids are just driven out to stretches of highway on the Utah-Arizona line and just dropped on the side of the road with a trash bag full of clothes. Back in Short Creek, parents were told not to answer their calls or open their door if the boys came back. So moms who had raised these kids since, their sons, turned them away at the porch and shut the door on them when they tried to come back.
Can you imagine? Because some fucking nerd like Warren Jeffs tells you to. You turn your back on your family like that. It's amazing.
I don't know what it is about God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it fucking...
That's a sound clip we can keep forever. I don't know what it is about
I
God.
don't either, bro.
Just play that.
that might be the highest thing I've ever said.
Like the next time we're doing like a kid rape story, just put, I don't know what it is about God. That can be used for
not bad.
everything. It's just a good line.
That's how you can use God to can convince people to do all these things. I guess you're just afraid of going to hell, right? Your eternal soul is in jeopardy.
I put it in the outline earlier and I skipped over because I didn't feel like I needed to say it, but I think that probably plays into it too, that this is like 170 years in the making, right? Like this starts with Joseph Smith and there's a direct line between Joseph Smith and Warren Jeffs. It just split.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So these women have been raised in this their entire lives.
That's all you know.
Yeah.
It's the only world you know. So, what options do you have? Really?
Yeah.
And so these kids had been raised their entire lives to view the outside world as evil. Like this is literally Satan's territory, right? And they're just thrown out there alone. They would all crash in tiny apartments. There'd be like dozen or more. So kids, sleeping on a floor. They don't have any furniture really. It's really terrible. But there were a few FLDS people that kind of overcame that stuff and set up like support group for these kids, and were like able to help get them kind of on their feet, like know how to open up a bank account, just the basic things that
life skills.
That they just had no idea what they were like.
That's nice.
At the same time, this is going on. Warren wanted to expand. He didn't want to just stay in Short Creek. So he started buying remote land and creating new FLDS compounds. He called them lands of refuge. In November 2003, an FLDS front buyer picked up a roughly 1,600-acre ranch near the small town of El Dorado, Texas. On paper, it was for hunting. In reality, it was the seed for what became the YFZ Ranch. That stands for Yearning for Zion.
Clever.
Over the next couple years, that hunting ranch turned into a full-blown town. Work crews came in from Short Creek in shifts to pour roads, dig wells, and lay out clusters of big concrete log houses. They built a meeting hall, outbuildings, huge multi-story residence that people understood was being put up for Warren himself.
Warren left Short Creek, and subsequently Ian left Cross Creek Creek. Coincidence? I don't think so.
Yeah. It's not often two people leave a place.
The creek's not big enough for these dreamers. They aspired to more. To fly the crick.
Yeah. Crick can't hold me down. Right?
Ain't no crick gonna hold me down. Was the name of his debut album.
In the middle of this whole thing, like, it's so funny that they put this on paper as that it was a hunting ranch. It's so fucking stupid. Like, they just for real made a city or a small town. But they put this big, bright white limestone temple that looked like it had just been taken from Salt Lake and dropped right into the middle of this ranch.
Didn't stand out a bit, I'm sure.
Around the same time this was happening, they also bought land near Pringle, South Dakota, and in remote parts of Colorado. They started new compounds there too, which we'll talk about those next week. But he was moving families out to kind of establish these new compounds. And so he was moving a lot of people out, but those of the people that were stuck behind were kind of wondering, like, am I not going to heaven now? Like, what's going on here? Why am I behind?
Mm-hmm. When the priest didn't try to molest me, that's what I thought. What's wrong with me, God?
Well, and it was true. They were just like, oh, we don't want that ugly kid. He's not going to heaven. Look at him. He's going to end up covered in tattoos and sitting around with his dipshit friends talking about who knows what.
Yeah, I'm going to leave his booty hole alone.
Remember It's Always Sunny where the football coach was molesting people and Mac didn't get molested. He didn't get molested. He's like, why didn't I get molested?
He was really upset about that.
Did I not look good enough?
Doesn't he go back and try to get molested, but like as an adult?
Yeah, and the guy's like, get the fuck out of my house.
Dave, you got to watch this show.
That's funny.
He's like wearing short shorts, right? And like just stretching and like flexing in front of him.
It's ridiculous.
This guy's like just old ass man now.
This next part is essentially just a teaser for part 5. But in the early 2000s, in this time frame, some ex-members, like these Lost Boys, began talking to reporters and some parts of law enforcement, like the private investigator, the book Prophets Pray, about what was going on inside the group, especially the forced marriages of underage girls and the mass expulsion of boys. They talked about Warren calling in families, telling a 14-year-old or 15-year-old girl that the Lord had chosen a husband for her, and making it clear to her that saying no meant losing her family and her place in heaven. One of the first to go public was Alyssa Wall. She said that when she was 14 in 2001, Warren ordered her to marry her 19-year-old cousin, walked her through a quick wedding across state lines in a Nevada motel town, and sent her back to be a wife to a man that she begged him not to pair her with. Another girl, Ruby Jessup, said that she was married off as a young teen to an older relative, moved away, and kept under watch so she couldn't see siblings who tried to visit. Other former child brides talked about being pulled out of school with no warning, handed a homemade wedding dress that their moms had stayed up all night making, and loaded into cars headed to Canada, Nevada, or later to the YFZ Ranch in Texas, to be married to men that they barely knew, some old enough to be their fathers or grandfathers.
Gross. Oh, just to clarify, the wedding dresses, were they homemade or homemade? Like they were made at home or made by hoes?
Home.
Okay.
But yeah.
I couldn't tell.
I do love a good homemade cake.
Absolutely.
We talked about earlier how these girls weren't taught about sex or anything like that. They were told to submit, and that resisting their husbands would piss off God. And these mid-teen pregnancies that happened were held up inside the group as proof of righteousness instead of a crime being committed.
That's not how that works, sir.
That is not how science works.
These people are vile fucking pigs. Every last one of them.
They really are. It takes such a turn at the beginning of this part, or at the start of this part. From like, it's been goofy and it's been very misogynistic, and
Yeah.
a lot is very questionable.
It gets
not even
turned up.
questionable. I mean, Joseph Smith was doing shit with a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, it's always been an issue, but now this is like, I don't know. It's taken a massive turn under Warren.
Yeah, it turned up to 11 in this part.
Just like his first wife.
Even then, too old, right? He would have liked a younger model.
In May 2005, investigators raided the Colorado City School District office, suspecting that FLDS leaders who controlled the school board were misusing public education funds. Remember, Warren had already pulled most FLDS kids out of public school, but the district was still receiving state money. That's that shit that they called bleeding the pig.
Yeah,
Right, where
yeah.
you can scam the government. It's okay because we're all corrupt and shit.
Yeah, they're Satan. Fuck them. Fuck them. Take their money.
A lot of that money seemed to be flowing into FLDS projects rather than actually educating kids. Agents took out computers, all kind of records. And that raid was described in the book Prophets Pray as the state's way of saying, we see you. Like, we're watching you, Warren.
Yeah. About time.
Warren got the hint and took off. By 2005, he was rarely sleeping in the same place twice. Sermons were recorded on cassette tapes and passed around by trusted couriers instead of being delivered in person. In June 2005, a grand jury in Mojave County, Arizona, indicted Warren on charges tied to underage marriage, 1 count of sexual conduct with a minor, and 1 count of conspiracy. The case centered on a spiritual marriage that Warren had arranged in 2001 between a 16-year-old girl and a 28-year-old already married man. So Arizona issued a warrant for Warren's arrest. Then the FBI stepped in and charged him federally with unlawful flight to avoid prosecution.
Yeah, get them.
Utah authorities wanted the church's communal property trust, the United Effort Plan. Remember, the UEP held all of the real estate and major assets in Short Creek and beyond. Decades of donated houses, lands, and buildings. This was worth well over $100 million. Prosecutors argued that Warren and his inner circle were looting the trust to fund his life on the run. In June 2005, a Utah judge agreed and stripped FLDS leadership of control of the UEP. The court appointed an outside fiduciary to run it for the actual residents' benefit. That meant Warren could no longer freely evict people, shuffle between houses, or just sell off land when he needed money. While he was out on the run, Warren bounced between a network of what he called houses of hiding, with a small group of loyalists and his favorite wives.
Favorite wives.
These safe houses popped up in places like suburban Las Vegas, rural Idaho, and outskirts of Phoenix. They were usually bought or rented under someone else's name, stocked with food and sewing machines so women could keep making the FLDS dresses because he is so on those fucking dresses. Have you seen these? They're like Amish, like long sleeve. Required to wear those out in the desert.
Yeah, that sounds great.
He had a big kink for it, probably. That's what it was.
It's like the worst kink ever. Right?
He had a kink for women who were constantly itchy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, scratch that arm. Oh, scratch that arm.
I'm going to give you my prophet lotion now.
There you go. See?
We said earlier that all the communication went through cell phones and couriers. Like he was recording things on cassette. One of the key runners was Warren's brother, Seth Jeffs. In November 2005, police in Pueblo, Colorado pulled Seth over. His SUV was filled with $142,000 in cash, dozens of prepaid cell phones and phone cards, and bins of letters addressed to Warren Jeffs or simply the Prophet. This is not smart. Driving around with this.
Dear the Prophet, please come home. We miss you. Love, Short Creek.
Seth was arrested for aiding a fugitive, and the stop gave law enforcement a clear look into the organized support network that was keeping Warren hidden. This is a very, very elaborate thing, but stupid enough to drive around with letters addressed to Warren specifically. Like,
yeah.
Of course, it's the arrogance, right? Like the I'm untouchable mindset, too.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Probably a mix of both.
No, that's not that Warren. That's my other brother, Warren. Yeah, because he probably had 4 brothers named Warren.
That's true. They forgot what they named their kids, so they started. It was just there was multiple.
5 Rulons, 7 Warrens, 2 Keiths.
Well, now I hate this group.
By early 2006, Warren was one of the most wanted men in the United States. In April of that year, prosecutors in Utah's Washington County indicted him on first-degree felony count of rape as an accomplice. That charge came from the 2001 FLDS marriage where the 14-year-old girl, Alyssa Wall, had been forced to marry her 19-year-old cousin. That's the part 5 stuff that we're going to talk about.
Wrapping up with the fun stuff, I see.
Yeah, well, it's actually an interesting court discussion, this rape as an accomplice thing. It's a law thing. We'll kind of get to debate a little bit. But in May, the FBI put Warren on its 10 most wanted list. The reward for information leading to his capture was set at $100,000. And suddenly his face is just everywhere, all over America's Most Wanted, on the show, on posters.
I remember. Like that nerd?
This guy.
This guy's a cult mastermind, evil genius.
People within the group took this as proof that the evil outside world was attacking God's prophet. And Warren leaned into that narrative with his cassette sermons. He told his people that this persecution was exactly like the scriptures warned about. Back in Short Creek, the families who were still in the church doubled down that this was all going to work out.
Motherfuckers out here with underground mixtapes getting passed around. The fuck out of here.
They're so creepy sounding too. I'll pull some clips for next week because in the trial there's they use some of these and stuff. We'll pull some of them. They're really weird sounding. They could almost be like creepy audio. He talks in this kind of, I don't know if he's trying to be quiet or hide, but like this kind of droning. It's weird. It's a weird vibe.
I was expecting sexy, you know. He's gonna bring sexy back.
You see photos of that guy and think sexy?
I'm like, there's got to be something. Maybe it's a nice voice, is what semi-hypnosis or something.
No, his voice is terrible too.
Oh fuck! What's this guy got going for him?
He just kind of said it, right? He just was like, I'm the prophet now.
Yeah. Big dick energy.
Yeah. Fuck with me and you'll find out. I'll profit on your ass.
A steady, a somewhat firm shove would break this man.
Yeah.
Even an aggressive "Hey pal," and you slap his shoulder, and he would probably wilt.
Apparently, no one had the balls to do this.
No, well, they couldn't get past his 30 brother bodyguard group.
Yeah, Seth and the boys.
Seth and the boys.
Seth and his brother Warren, his other brother Warren, his other brother Warren, his other brother Warren,
and Keith.
Keith.
He was the runt of the family.
Always with the knee pads.
On August 28th, 2006, at around 9 o'clock at night, a Nevada Highway Patrol trooper noticed a red Cadillac Escalade with a weird temporary tag driving north on I-15 just outside of Las Vegas. The plate wasn't properly visible, so he pulled the SUV over. Inside were Warren Jeffs, one of his favorite wives, Naomi, and one of his 33 brothers, Isaac, who was driving. They tried to play it cool. They gave fake names. Warren gave the name John Findlay and a story about a family road trip. One said that they were going to California. Another said Denver. Another said Utah. These contradictions and their nervous behavior set off alarms, so the officer called for backup, and that's where we'll pick back up on part 5 and wrap it all up.
Wow. Oh, boy, Warren.
It would have taken 12 seconds, of pre-planning to come up with a story.
That's
hey,
right.
if we get caught, where are we going to go?
Yeah. When we murdered that woman a couple years ago, the three of us got our stories together in case we were picked up by the police.
Mm-hmm.
We never were,
Nope.
but we had our stories together, so we would all give the same account of our whereabouts that evening.
And the story was, hey, to throw everybody off, let's start a podcast about murder. Because it's never the podcasters who do it. The podcasters report it.
Look, it worked.
So far, so good. And at this point, what? Eminent domain. They can't even charge us anymore. I think that's the official wording of it. It's been so long. We've
We're in the clear.
eminent domains that murder.
That's it. We transcend the rule of law. Well, that's something.
This is building up to be quite a finale.
Yeah.
Do you think he was like, no, I'm John Finley, international man of mystery. On my way to, where am I on my way to? Denver. That's where I'm on my way to.
Yeah, we'll talk about that stop a little more next week, too. Warren's like fucking eating a salad and stuff when they got pulled over.
When they got okay.
I'm motherfucker needs some carbs. No salad. Well, I'm intrigued. Can't wait to catch up with Warren and see what he's been up to these days.
Yeah. Yeah, next week we'll get into all the various trials and things like that.
Nice.
Wrap it all up.
Send everyone into their Christmas holiday break with a banger.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed reading about this subject. It's been one of my more favorite series that we've done.
It's interesting for sure. I didn't know a lot of this stuff.
I like these things where you can just trace a straight line from one thing to another, like fucking Ruby Ridge to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Joseph Smith to this fucking craziness.
What's wild is just how insane the Joseph Smith stuff was, and now 150 years later?
170.
It's just a legitimate, religious organization that had essentially disavowed all the craziness, or a good majority of the craziness, and now we're just mainstream, just loving Jesus, man. Going to co-op.
Yeah.
Transcend, become godlike when we die. From those gold plates in upstate New York. The best part of this whole series is that I had no idea Joseph Smith fell out of a window and got shot by the town people.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is crazy.
They fucked him up, man.
While running for president.
While running for president. I read that. I'm like, what? I didn't know that. That was great. Yeah, that was a very thrilling read for me. Discovery of history I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
You can't say that he wasn't committed to the idea. Like, he got fucking tarred and feathered.
Oh, he
at
was
one
all
point.
in. He was committed for sure.
I forgot about the tar and feathering.
Yeah. Like, that happened in the middle of the night. He was sleeping and he got ripped out of
That's
his
right.
bed.
Yeah. Well, all right, Ian, anything else on part 4 that we need to touch on, or that you saw that was interesting, or saving it all for the big finale?
Yeah. Save everything for next week.
Okay. Good stuff. Dave, what do you got for us on Patreon?
I got a couple make goods here. I don't know what happened, but we fuck up sometimes.
You missed names, or you just misread the names?
One of each, sir. One of each.
All right.
So shout out to Jeremy Watkins. This one goes way back. I don't know. This guy finally followed up. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. Sorry, so you're the star of the show today, Jeremy Watkins. Hope you've been enjoying Patreon. And Nicole Dye, apparently I read hers as Nicholas for some reason. I listened to the tape and I'm like, sure, in fact, that's what I did. And I don't know why, but.
All right.
But those are my make goods, so yeah.
This is going to be a perfect night tonight. I could feel it.
I hope so,
You're going to
man.
bat 1,000
I
with this
hope
one.
so. Thank you to new patrons. Nisa Rhymes with Lisa. Jenny Likes Art. Courtney Nicole. Manuel Castro. Agent Beaver Believer 007. Secret Agent. Ash Starr. Marshall Sinclair. S.A. Nicole Catton. Not Nicholas. Nicole Catton. Got it right that time.
All right.
Gin Rose. Jillian Kalachek. Christoval Samaron. Amandalia. James Negrelli. Julio Villa. Kayla North. Woody the Bushwhacker. Darlene L. Harston. Shannon Biggerstaff. Beavis and Sluthead. Tiffany Sturgeon. Clarice Hassler. Michaela M. Hannah Crankshaw. Salted Ginger. Taylor Nyman. Jordan. Josie Drager. Winnie Cock. Keena Fox. Jenna L. Shafir. Gray. Brandon Moore. Skyla. Distal 553. Kristen D. Spencer. Havard Killingvite. It's Norwegian. I hope I came close. Havard Killingvite.
Vard's cool. man.
Killingvite. Havard's cool though, right?
No.
Nate Williams. Armed with Tages. And Adrian Gill. Thank you, new patrons. Welcome aboard.
All right. Ian, anything on your end?
On Patreon, we just did an episode on the disappearance of Gretchen Fleming,
That's right.
which is a interesting one.
Yeah. Kind of a current event type one.
Yeah,
which
very current.
We don't often do that.
No, usually there's not a lot of stuff out there to, make a full episode of something current, but there was a good bit. We'll be following up on that case too.
Hopefully that gets solved here.
It seems like it's moving in that direction, hopefully.
It does.
And it's going to be a fun month on Patreon. Got some holiday shows.
Yeah.
Got the variety show coming up at the end of the month, which is going to be a hoot,
It is going to be an interactive hoot.
a live show.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a live game show kind of thing.
Live game show. We're gonna. It's gonna be Price is Right style. Patron.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
You might hear that music. Patron, come Commander, whatever, something
One
of
of
Agent
those.
Beaver.
Right.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on the Art Beltier Variety Show.
All kinds of games coming up.
I was scrolling through the other day. I might have said this when I saw it, but someone's name was just Suck My Beaver. That was one of the names I saw when I was scrolling through. I call them out.
Suck My Beaver.
It's just so aggressive.
They're up for the variety show, probably.
You think so?
Yeah. They want their beaver sucked. They sure want to play
true.
trivia against Mike or whatever other ridiculous thing we have going on.
There will be some trivia.
I'm excited for it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all available on Patreon. Dave, anything else on your end?
I know. I'm tapped out.
If you wish to be a part of the variety show and or any of our bonus content, patreon.com/necronomipod. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Necronomipod. Amazon.com, search Necronomipod for all of our merch, and necronomipod.com.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.